मैं पत्थर पर लिखी इबारत हूं, मैं पत्थर पर लिखी इबारत हूं, शीशे से कब तक तोड़ोगे, मिटने वाला मैं नाम नहीं, तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे, तुम मुझको कब तक रोकोगे. With this thought in mind, that a strong will and a dedicated heart can make the impossible possible. A very good morning, respected Principal Ma'am, teachers, and students. Today's assembly is being presented by Class 12E. Let me begin by putting forward a very general truth. Life is all about choices. Every time a moment passes by, we make a choice. A choice to be happy, a choice to be sad, a choice to work hard, or a choice to sit back. And in crucial times like these, a choice to go through it or grow through it. And this is our topic for today's assembly. Don't go through it, grow through it. In life, we all have gone through several ups and downs. And certainly, these unprecedented times have tested our patience, emotional well being, and perseverance more than ever. But with faith in heart and hope in mind, we all shall rise above these times too. Prayers are most often the reasons behind all miracles. Let us begin today's assembly with the same. I request Rishi Singh to come up for the opening shloka, followed by Devanshi Srivastav and Ashok Pathak for the Hindi and English prayers.
Please join your hands and close your eyes. Om Saraswati Namastobhyam Varde Kamaruprini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavati Me Sada.
सुप्रभात. अक्सर बड़ी बड़ी विपत्तियां हमें अपने विचारों का मंथन करने को विवश कर देती हैं. अनुगामी हिंदी प्रार्थना में मेरे मन के उद्गार हैं. कृपया हाथ जोड़कर तैयार हो जाएं. हम सभी क्षमा प्रार्थी हैं. हे ईश्वर, अब जो हम चलें तो अपनी शक्तियों को समझने का संकल्प ले सकें, क्योंकि एक भयभीत दुर्बल मनुष्य दीप्ति के परम स्रोत के समक्ष क्षमा योग्य तो कदापि नहीं हो सकता. अतएव हे प्रभु, सदैव स्वयं के विचारों में डूबे रहने वाले हम परिवार, देश, समाज, जगत और ब्रह्मांड के आगे स्वयं काल से भी यही प्रार्थना करते हैं कि वर्तमान में जीकर क्षमा योग्य बनकर ही इसकी प्रार्थना करें तथा इस क्षमा याचना को अपने कर्मों में जीवित कर सकें. ओम शांति.
Please join your hands, close your eyes, and please do not repeat. Lord, in these trying times, may your light guide us through the darkness that has encircled us. Help us be compassionate in our way. We need no luxuries or extravagance, only empathy and love to heal those who have succumbed to that same darkness. We vow in your holy name to help the ones around us, offer warmth and affection to those suffering the harsh cold of desolation. Let us all have hope, for hope is the force that rows the uncertain sailor across a maelstrom. Amen.
Stories most often form a very important part of our life because they live like memories in our hearts, and very often their morals shape our personality. So let me present a very short story on today's topic. Once upon a time, there was a boy who was born without a left arm, and he joined judo classes under an instructor who in Japanese we call sensei. The sensei taught the boy a very interesting judo technique in the first week of his practice, and from the second week he started practicing it. But he couldn't quite understand why after 3 months of practice, he was still doing that one technique, while he could see the others learning new ones. So one day, he asked his sensei, "Shouldn't I be learning more than one technique?" His sensei answered, "Just focus on this one throw. You know only this one move, but this is the only move you will need to know." The boy still didn't understand, but anyways, did as his sensei instructed him to. After many months of practice, the sensei enrolled the boy in the state level judo competition, and the boy was terrified. But surprising to the audience and himself, he won the first 2 rounds very easily. The third one was a little harder, but the boy pulled off the technique, the only one he knew, and won. The fourth round amazingly went the same way, and the boy who was born without a left arm found himself in the finals of the tournament, facing a much bigger, stronger, and tougher opponent. The referee and the organizers were a little concerned about the safety of the boy and asked his sensei if he wanted to withdraw the boy from the tournament. But the sensei answered, "We will fight." In the finals of the tournament, the opponent of the boy made a mistake and dropped his guard. Promptly, the boy used his technique to pin him down, and he won the tournament. Now, on his way back home, he gathered all his courage and asked his sensei that how did he win the entire tournament with just one move? The sensei answered, "You won because of 2 reasons. First, after so many months of dedicated practice, you have mastered one of the most difficult throws in all of judo. And second, the only defense your opponent could have against this throw was grab your left arm." With the boy's dedication and the sensei's sagacity, the biggest weakness of the boy was transformed into his biggest strength. You see, in life, so often we focus too much on our weaknesses that we forget to work upon them. While in reality, with bits of heart, courage, and will, we can transform the biggest of our disadvantages into our advantages. What we only need to do is look inside and find our inner strength, like the boy did, because our inner strength is that core rock that we can hold on to when we can't hold on to anything else. So let's look inside, find our inner strength, polish it, make use of the time we get, make use of every opportunity we get, and not just go through it, grow through it. Thank you. I now request Ashank Pathak to present his thoughts on the topic.
Good morning, everyone. Our topic for today's assembly is grow through what you go through. And one thing that we all have been going through is this pandemic, this lockdown. And there's something that I believe most of us have been going through, and we've been doing that, and that is overthinking. And I think we need to grow out of it now in these troubled times. So as the saying goes, an empty mind is the devil's paradise. Overthinking really leads people astray, making them believe in things that never exist in reality, but is a manifestation of their own imagination. Today, people overthink so much that it only harms them because you restrain yourself from doing what you want to do and saying what you want to say. Do not wait for the right time for doing the things you want to do, because if you do that, it will already be too late, and the only thing in your mind will be regret. Do not be afraid to do something or say something, because instead of building it up inside or fighting it so you don't have to express it, it is better to express yourself. That is how you must do things you are passionate about, and that is how you must handle things to ensure you are using your full potential for every task. Thank you.
I request everyone to now please close their eyes and let us observe a minute of silence for the well-being of everyone. Thank you. I now request my class teacher, Preeti Ma'am, to please address the gathering.
Good morning, everyone. As the theme goes that you should go through, don't just go through. As we are living in a very, very difficult time. So whenever we go through difficult phase in life, our perception decides whether I'll take it as a problem or look for solution to solve it. Many of you have shared your experiences during last 4 to 5 days of assembly, which is a positive reinforcement to handle problems, difficulties, and failures in life. I have learned a lesson from Krishna when he talked about changing perception in one of the assembly, and the way Arsha ma'am shared the task, how she is going through it, and as Tomni ma'am has discussed so many positive things, how to handle difficult situation. All these things teach us a lesson. So my suggestion for you all is that just pick a dot from there, wherever you are facing a difficult time, change the perception within seconds and move ahead to paint a beautiful picture of success. For each one of us, the picture can be different. For me, the success is peace within and happiness. It's not that difficult because in a day, within 24 hours, we are getting approximate 1,440 minutes of opportunities. If we just use 100 such minutes, which is approximate 7 to 8% of 24 hours, as 100 opportunities per day to make a positive impact, to spread happiness around, nothing like it. When we talk about pain or difficult time, we all experience pain, discomfort, disappointment, and frustrations. That pain is not there to stop you. It is there to develop you, to prepare you, to increase you. Once you replace the negative thoughts with positive ones, you'll start having positive results. And this change of attitudes changes everything in the life, either for better or worse. So we need life's challenges, struggles, and hardships because that difficulty is an opportunity to get stronger, to develop character, to gain a new perspective. So don't just go through the challenge, grow through it. Learn the lesson, develop the new mindset, improve your skills, whichever are being provided to you by school or even by doing the household chores which you are doing to help your family. You actually will become or will come out stronger on the other side. Always remember your marks and grades are just on a piece of paper. So your education is seen in your behavior. So follow this theme, you will see the difference in your life. Thank you.
Life challenges are indeed important, and every minute is an opportunity. We need to grab it. Now, for the conclusion of the assembly, I request Eshne to come up for the closing shloka.
Please join your hands and close your eyes. Om Sarvesham Swastiribhavatu Sarvesham Shantiribhavatu Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you. I now request our principal, Promni ma'am, to please address the gathering.
Thank you so much, Preeti ma'am, and all the students of 12E for choosing such a meaningful topic. It goes so much with the entire philosophy of your school. You know, your school logo says conscious transformation. And then, children, nature itself. Your topic today is about adaptation, and then first adapting, and then growing through that adaptation. By doing so, you actually raise the entire universal consciousness. There is a plant, cactus, and I'm sure all of you have read about it. All of you know it. So, these are little ways of nature. That's what I understand out of it. These are little ways of nature to help us to understand change is inevitable. And in every situation, there is a possibility of change and there is a possibility of growth. Now you look at the normal plants. They have got broad leaves, thin leaves, fine leaves, whatever kinds of leaves. And you invariably find stems, weak stems, strong stems, woody stems, all of them. But nature had one choice: to give no plants in the desert or to give something. So what was thought? Let's have a plant which has a succulent stem and leaves which are like thorns, so that there is no water loss. Such a beautiful adaptation. And where does that adaptation take you? It doesn't limit itself over there. You see how cactus plant is used by people to beautify their homes. So from one adaptation, the nature teaches you where you can take, what lessons you can take. So something that started with adaptation leads to so much beauty. There are 4 principles of education which Sri Aurobindo has given to us. One of them is nothing can be taught. So if nothing can be taught, then how do you learn? You learn when you grow through what you do. So thank you so much, children, for choosing this topic. You've brought in the philosophy of Cheboria in the topic. Thank you once again. Immense gratitude. Stay happy, stay blessed, keep blessing people, keep thinking about all that's happening around you, but don't let yourself seep into that darkness. Life is beautiful.